But I just looked at it like you can't have faith and fear at the same time. And one of the things that truly drew me to just working with you was that you have belief and you have faith in God as well.
I'm not gonna lie, whenever you told me that on the onboarding call, I kind of felt the pressure. You sure you need this to work? All right, well, let's figure this out.
I definitely needed it. I'm gonna tell you why. Capital needed. I'm glad I put that pressure on you because it worked, apparently. Yeah. You have the capacity for the assignment, and there's a reason why you were chosen for it. You have to push through. Some of the greatest times in your life are the most difficult times. Your kids are depending on you, and you are the reason why they can have everything that they've always dreamed of, or you always dreamed of for them.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Welcome to another episode of Certified Closers. Now, usually how these episodes go is I show you the first part of the episode, what it looks like, and then we get right into it. I wanted to kind of jump in real quick, and I wanted to do something different for this one because this is a special episode, right? If you're watching this, I need you to watch the entire thing. If you're someone who wants to get into wholesale real estate and you want to see a true success story, someone going from not knowing anything about this industry to closing over $10,000 in her first almost month, her story is so inspiring. She closed three deals within her first 2 months of getting into the program and learning about digital real estate. So if you're someone who wants to take this industry seriously, I need you to go grab notebook, pen. I need you to take notes because the lessons that Myasia shared in this video is wild. And it's lessons that I wish I had whenever I first started. Now, when it comes to these podcasts, I try to treat every episode fairly, but this one is truly special. And here in just a second, I'm gonna show you guys when Myasia first started. We documented her entire journey from whenever she first got on a call with us to her saying that she got her first contract signed to now in the interview closing 3 deals in such a short amount of time. I don't wanna yap too much. I'm really excited for you guys just to watch the video, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it short. But to Myasia, I'm so proud of you. So extremely proud of you for all the challenges you were able to get through and overcome, and putting your back against the wall the way you did is super inspirational. And I mean, it shows why you're so successful and why you're going to be the 1% of the 1%. 99% of people would have never took the risk and bet on themselves like the way you did, and it paid off. So on behalf of me, Parker, Dominic, Ricky, we're all so proud of you, and we can't wait to see what you accomplish in the future.
I'm going to be transparent with you. That's all that I could be. I pretty much use my savings to invest inside this program because I figured that whatever I was doing before is what has me broke. So if I try something different, the worst that could happen is I won't be broke. I've been working in for 10 years and I hate it. You seem genuine, so I'm happy about that. I love the community. The Big Bro blueprint, the lessons are just so thorough. It's like wholesaling for dummies. So I like that it's very beginner friendly. I don't want to go back to work, but I also don't want to just have a month where I got really lucky. Now I'll leave my job and I'm like, fuck, I should have went back to work.
First thing I want to let you know is you made the right decision, right? By investing in yourself.
Buyers and sellers trust me. I close, I serve. I believe that. And it's crazy because now it's if I talk to them, I feel more confident, or they'll call me back and they remember my name, or I'm like, dang, people think I know what I'm doing. And it's crazy.
What's going on, Myasia?
Roy!
Welcome to this episode. This is going to be a super special episode because the viewer already saw it. You haven't. We documented your entire journey coming into the digital real estate program, getting your first contract, not knowing anything about this industry, choosing your market, and finally closing a deal. But you didn't close just one deal. How many deals have you closed so far?
3 deals.
You've closed 3 deals. That is so crazy. And let me just make sure I got this right. You never saw any other properties?
Absolutely not. I'm in New York. So absolutely not.
You never met the seller at all?
No, not in person.
So you're telling me someone sold you their house without ever meeting you?
Absolutely.
That is crazy. And it's crazy. Where you started to where you are now. We're going to break down the entire journey. For the viewers, this is an inspirational one. I will watch throughout the entire video because I already know Myasia is going to drop some sauce and drop a lot of gems and lessons she learned along the journey, and you're going to want those. Let's get right into it. What was life before wholesale real estate?
Life is cool. I don't have a traumatic story where it's like I was homeless and I was going through the trenches. I grew up that way, but before wholesaling, no, I was just working for Geico. I've been working there for 10 years. So it was really me working this 4-day work shift, Monday to Thursday. It had an amazing shift. That's what I thought. I was working from 10 to 9:30 and I worked in a call center. So I was just taking calls all day long. And I thought it was cool because I was able to maintain my current lifestyle. You guys probably don't know I have 2 children, an 8-year-old, a 2-year-old. I'm married. It was all good. But my job had decided to switch my schedule where I used to be off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you work in corporate, you know that like that schedule is golden. But then they switched it. They made us start going to work hybrid. So I had to come in 1 day a week. And then they changed my hours to a 5-day schedule where I was working now Sunday to Thursday. And I didn't like that at all. And I just had like a thought where I was just like, if they're able to do this one time and I have to comply to it, the next time that they make a change, I'm going to have to comply to it as well. So like nothing changes if nothing changes. I was pissed off, but I didn't have any other options, to be honest. I was thinking about like, damn, what do I really want to do? There's so many things, if you go online, you see people like having high success, which seems like in every area. And I was just on YouTube. Then I found out about wholesale real estate and here I am. But that was my life before I joined this.
Now, how did you know that, all right, this job, I love it. It's cool. The schedule kind of changed up on me, but now is the time that I take action and take my life back and I go all in on another industry. What was the sign for you?
Yeah, so honestly, this isn't my first industry that I've tried. Anybody that knows me, I have tried like almost everything. I was a person that was like selling knives, doing door-to-door sales, network marketing companies. I think I even tried Mary Kay one time. I tried to do Airbnb. I used to be a person where like if I wanted to try something new, I would tell everyone about it. But like the little boy who cries wolf, like after a certain amount of time and people don't see you getting the results, they're kind of like trying something else again. They lose that belief in you. You kind of get discouraged and lose that belief in yourself. And then you want to keep anything new that comes to mind to yourself. This was just another one of those things that I wanted to try. I even had a clothing line before, Legally Black. The Black stood for building legacy as culture kids. Used to do like pop-up shops and all type of things with that too. So I was like, dang, I don't really want to bring out to anyone something new that I want to do. But like, I've never been like content with my job. I say a lot to say that I've tried so many things because me just working in my job, it was never enough for me. So I was like kind of doing Airbnb 3 years ago, but then someone broke into my Airbnb. They had like stole out the electric fireplace. They stole the mattress. And that Airbnb was in Texas. I live in New York. I was 8 months pregnant with my son. And I was like, I'm definitely not flying out to Texas to rehab and fix up that Airbnb. So I kind of just let it sit, let the lease run out. And then I just left the Airbnb there, like just got completely discouraged. So this was just the next thing after Airbnb that I wanted to try. So I was just like, I don't really know if this is going to work because when you see things on YouTube, you don't know who's real and who's not. But I saw your interview with Ashley, who's my girl now. And like her energy was just like, it just felt so real and so honest. And I was like, damn, she's a girl having success in wholesale real estate. I've never seen a female really actually doing it or closing a deal. And I was like, I think I could do it too. So like she gave me that belief within myself that I needed at that time, that I could try something new and I could have success too.
Wow. Now, after going through Mary Kay, selling knives, door-to-door, Airbnb, you tried everything. And things may be working out just a little bit, but not to the point where you wanted it to, or it was sustainable. What kept you going? Why not just give up and just, I guess, fall into the 9 to 5?
Yeah. So here's the thing is that all of those things work. I didn't work it long enough to see it work. So when I decided to do this, I was like, yo, transparently, I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to stop stopping. And I'm going to see if it actually fully works if I put the work in for it to work for me. Like, I feel like everything works, but you just have to be willing to put in the work. And when it gets hard, you got to still persevere and you got to still do it. I think that like when I did my interview with Asher, who's on your team, who got me started, I was telling him all these things that I've tried and he called me an uninformed optimist. And I didn't know what it meant. And he was like, you like getting involved into things when you think that they seem shiny and like it seems like a good idea, but you don't understand the work that goes into them. And then once you figure out the work that goes into them, you stop doing it. And I was like, damn, that was a hard truth, but it was real. And I was like, okay, so I think I have a me problem, how I see myself. I think that it works, but sometimes it may not work for me. So I was having that problem. It was more personal. So when I decided to do this, I was like, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to stop stopping, and I'm going to commit to this. So that's what I did.
Yeah. Now, what did you know about wholesale real estate prior to joining our program? Did you know much about it? Like, did you already try reaching out to sellers? What was like the experience level?
Oh yeah, I tried it. So I was taking this credit class like back in January. So I was going to try to do that too. Just another one. So I was going to try to
you was doing everything. You was a jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of none, for real. Some guy that was in the class with me, he had brought up that he was a wholesaler. So I did that. I didn't know what it was at all. And then he was explaining to me like, yeah, I'll call out to sellers and I'll see if people want to buy their homes. It's so easy. So when I heard so easy, it caught my attention because I'm like, damn, I want to do something that's so easy. Realizing that's not that easy, but he said it was so easy. So it caught my attention and he was just like, okay, I'll mentor you. He charged me $500 to mentor me. So when we were doing our mentorship, it was like really late at night. Like he would like do Zoom calls with me 5 days a week for like 2 or 3 weeks. And like, I wasn't really grasping the information. And then his systems that he had in place were very different than the ones I'm sure you and I are going to go into how you have it in your program. A lot more efficient and easier. But he had me like actually cold calling people, like literally like calling people from my cell phone one by one.
Man.
So I was not having any success with that. So I was like, damn, this is just another thing that's not working. Like I was like, this is crazy. But he told me that he did it. So I understood that like it was possible. But I started to just have that disbelief again, like, damn, this is just another thing that's not working for me. But when I saw your interview with Ashley, it came up again. And I was like, okay, there has to be a reason why this same industry is popping back up for me, because I wasn't even searching for you. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even know who you were. Your interview just came up and I just started watching it. It was like one of those late nights I was scrolling and it just came up. So I was watching it. And then when she started to describe that you had a system in place that made it easy. And then you showed a clip of like, I guess your dialing out. And I was like, well, that seems a little bit different than the way that I was doing it. So maybe if I approach it a different way, then I'll have more success. And I realized after joining, like, yeah, I needed to have a completely different system for the whole entire business to work for me. And it did.
Yeah. So you get on the call with Ashton and you make the leap. You're like, I'm gonna put this on a credit card. I'm gonna go all in and I'm going to make this work. Now, at the same time, you were on something with your job where you had some time off. You let me know whenever you did your onboarding call. You said, I need to make this work. Like, I have to make this work. This can't be another thing that I try and don't find success with. I'm not going to lie. Whenever you told me that on the onboarding call, I kind of felt the pressure. I was like, wow, all right, you sure you need this to work? All right, well, let's figure this out. And I remember just looking at your market, doubling down. Like, is this the market to put her in? I don't know if this is the market. Like, she said she need this to work. So I got to make sure this is the best market. And we pulled your market. Your back is against the wall and you're going all in. Before we even get into you starting, just you putting your back against the wall with 2 kids, bring us into what that was like.
Well, for one, I definitely needed it. I'm going to see why. Capital needed. I'm glad I put that pressure on you because it worked, apparently.
Yeah.
I was like, I am not playing with him. But yeah, I needed it for 2 reasons. For one, I did take a leave of absence from my job because I wanted to fully commit to this. And that is a big decision, especially when you have kids, because I was preparing myself to not receive any financial compensation from my job. So I was like, damn, if I do this, they got to eat. We got to eat. We got to have a place to live. So I need this to work, because I don't want my family to be homeless. I don't want my kids it's summertime. I don't want my kids to be deprived from summer because of a decision that I made. So it put that pressure on me that I needed. And I feel like I worked pretty well under pressure. So I needed that. And then also, people don't know this, and my sister's probably going to find this out when she watches this interview, but for me to join your program, because it's a pretty penny. And you told me that it was the Louis Vuitton of mentorships, and you wasn't lying. If y'all shop at the Louis store, you know. So to actually, my sister had $1,500. She had me just holding it for her. So I was like, okay, I'll hold it inside of one of my business accounts that I had. So when I was signing up for your program, I was $1,500 short, and I used my sister's $1,500 to sign up towards the program. So I was like, damn. And my sister trusted me with her whole life. I couldn't tell her. She looks up to me. I didn't want her to think that I even needed money. So I was like, I have to make this work because I have to pay her back this money. I just need a deal to close for even $1,500 for me to give her back the money. So that was the pressure for me. And I was like, damn, I need my back against the wall. So yeah. I needed it.
That is deep. That's crazy. That's crazy. I would have never done it. But the fact that you did it, I mean, that's why you had the success. And like, I mean, you've seen these episodes. The thing that separates you being in the 1% of people who actually close deals is being able to put your back against the wall like that and placing the bet on yourself. It couldn't have worked out. I could have been some guy who sold a dream. I could have ghosted you and you could have gave up or not been able to afford the systems and that 1,500 would have been gone. God willing, none of that is true. And you were able to make it back, but you wouldn't even been able to see the other side of the tunnel if you would have never took that leap. So I want to say before we even get into the deal, I'm proud of you for taking that leap because that is huge. Congratulations on that.
It is. I'm proud of me too. And thank you so much. But I just looked at it like you can't have faith and fear at the same time. And one of the things that truly drew me to just working with you was that you have belief and you have faith in God as well. And I remember we was talking in that conversation. He was like, yo, if you really believe in God, like you say you do, because I was like, God don't play about me. And he was like, if you believe in that, then you got to really like work like he got you. And you got to have that faith and put your back against the wall. And I was like, it made me feel so much better about taking that risk. Like, God got me.
Yeah. He's going to take care of you. And this is a quote that I forgot where I got it from, but I've always stuck with it. A lot of people either work too hard and try to take away the faith in God. And it's like, I'm going to put it all on me. And it usually never works. Or they put it all on God and they don't put in the work behind it. And God's just, you got to do your part too. So the quote that's always stuck with me is pray like it depends on God and work like it depends on you. And, whenever you work together, that's when everything comes true. That's when everything that you want is actually going to start to show up in your reality. So now you get started. Let's talk about the struggles. You're getting on the phones, you're getting cussed out, contracts coming in, they falling through. Let's talk about the L's before we get to the W's. What are some L's that you went through on your journey getting started?
So honestly, the getting cursed out part didn't even really bother me. Like I said, I work in a call center where people curse me out for years for things that have nothing to do with me. They're mad at me because I just showed up to work and I answered the phone. So that part was like really easy to deal with. I had people, Memorial Day, one of my first calls, because I started on May 26th. And Memorial Day was the first time I got on the phone and some guy was just really pissed. Like, I can't believe you called me on the holiday, the audacity. I would never sell you my house. And I actually kind of thought it was funny. My struggle was really more so like doing this and being at home with my children. Like if anybody listens to this and they have kids, it's just not easy. And around the time that I decided to take the leave of absence from my job and commit to this, my husband had decided that he is going to he's an electrician. So he decided that he's going to open up his own contracting business. So now that he's getting clients, he'll be out the house from like 5 a.m. sometimes until 8, 9, 10 p.m. So it's really just me home with the kids by myself throughout the day. So that was the hardest part for me. And I feel like the weight was just so heavy because I started to get into my own head where I was like, damn, I'm trying to make calls. My son want a snack. Trying to make calls. My daughter want to go to the park. And it's like, wow, I got to really balance being a mom and then trying to work this business. And then like, I don't know if you ever heard that saying that says like, sometimes your enemy is your enemy. Yeah. And it was like me being in my own head. And I started to like question like, damn, could this really work? I know how to take the calls, but now I don't feel like I have the full time to make the calls. And then I had to just figure out a schedule just inside of my home for it to work. But it just felt so heavy, like, damn, this is a lot to do. And I was like, maybe this is more for people who don't have kids. They have the time to commit to it. They don't have any distractions inside of their home. So I had to get past that hurdle. And I had to really just like rewire my thinking and be like, instead of saying, why me? Like, why not you, Maisha? There's other women, there's other mothers who want to make a way for their kids. There's other people that may need you to just close a deal, see that it's possible for them too. Like you can't like your kids got to be your motivation why you have to keep going. not why you can't do it. And I think a lot of times, like, we use like our situation as an excuse rather than like a motivation to push forward. This is why you have to do this, so you could be in a position where you have all the time to spend with your kids. You can build a business that works without you, and you're able to like really live a life of your dreams, because it's so easy to go back to work, put your kid in daycare, your kid's going to go to camp, and it's like you won't have all the time to spend with them. So just do the hard part of making a schedule inside of your home, figuring this out, and it'll all pay off in the end. So that was like my biggest struggle, to be honest with you, was like figuring it out. And I was just like, nah, I have to make sure that this test is going to be my testimony. Like, I have to make a way. It's like, you're going to make a way, you're going to make a way. But you can't do both.
Yeah.
So that was it. That's the biggest part.
I think it's time for you to start writing a book or getting the poetry. She dropped so many lines and gems just now. Like, y'all need to rewind it and just listen to everything from the start again. Some takeaways that I got from that. And like I said, this is just a few takeaways I got. There was a lot. Your biggest enemy is your inner me. I love that. I love that. A lot of people get in the way of themselves and sabotage themselves from actually seeing it through or seeing the success they want to see. And I mean, if you don't got you, who else got you? You have to be there in anything that you want to do. You're not always going to have support. And sometimes you won't have support at all. And you is all you got. So I love that line. Another one that you said was believing in your why. You stuck to your why. Whenever things got hard and you were thinking, maybe this isn't for me, you remembered that this is so you can spend more time with your kids. This is so you can have that financial freedom. This is so you can care for your family. A lot of people forget their why, and they try to get into things off motivation. And motivation, we both know motivation. You listen to an Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, or you listen to some motivational YouTube video that lasts for maybe 5 hours. If you got new motivation, maybe 2-3 days. And then after that, reality kicks in and things start getting hard. And when those things start getting hard, your why is all you have to go back to in order to stay disciplined and keep going. So what advice? There's somebody who's watching this. She's a mom. She has 1 to maybe 3 kids, maybe even more. And she wants to get into wholesale real estate. She doesn't know if it's possible. She hears that you got success, but she doesn't believe it's possible for her. What would you want to leave her with?
Yeah, I would say that you have the capacity for the assignment, and there's a reason why you were chosen for it. You have to push through. One of the best quotes that I heard from Myron Golden that stuck with me is that he said something like, some of the greatest times in your life are the most difficult times. Some of the greatest times. Not the most fun, not the most exciting, but some of the greatest times, because those are the times when God is getting you ready for what he already has ready for you. I think about that quote and it's like, as a mom, you feel like you have to think about everything and it's just so overwhelming, and your kids are depending on you, and you may feel like, damn, if it was just me, I would have more time to just focus on me. Where it's like, you were chosen for the assignment. So if you want to get started, just do it. Like, if you're scared, just do it. And I would just say that, like, feel a little emotional. I'm sorry. I would just say that, like, if you're scared, just do it. Like, you can always go back to the life that you had if it doesn't work out for you. But if you don't try this, you might miss out on the life that you always dreamed about, and the life that you always dreamed about giving to your children. So I would say just do it. Your kids are depending on you, and like, you are the reason why they can have everything that they've always dreamed of, or you always dreamed of for them.
Wow. I love it. Before we get into it, if you're a mom and you just heard that should be all you needed to hear to get started. You have what it takes. I'm not going to double down on what Maya just said. I'm not taking any power away from what she just said, but that was amazing. And I hope that resonated with whoever's watching to get started today. Let's talk about into getting your first deal. I remember you got your first contract. It was a big day. Let us know how you got the first contract to your first deal. I remember you got contract after contract after contract. Like, I remember the first day you were like, oh, I got my first contract. We were like, yo, let's go. Second day, yo, I got another contract. Huh? What you mean? Yeah, I got 2 contracts. Okay, slow down a little bit. A few days go by, or a week maybe. Hey, I got a 3rd contract. Myasia, what is going on? All right, I need you to focus on one deal at a time. Let's talk about the first deal. So you start calling, you get your first contract. What's the story of getting your first contract?
Yeah, very exciting day for sure. I was like, oh shit, this is working for real. Like, this is good. This is good. It was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. It was really just having a conversation. So I followed your blueprint on just how to frame the conversation. I already know how to talk to people, but like I needed to know what to talk about. You helped me pick out markets. And then I went into that market. I was calling for like 40 people a day. And that's what I was doing. So that was very important to just make sure you get those reps in. So it's not like you just call one person and they pick up the phone and they say, yeah, I want to sell my house. That's just not the reality of the business. You have to put the time in, you got to put the calls in and just talk to these people like regular people. So it was like a day or two of me calling 40 days, 40 people straight. And then I ended up speaking to him. He picked up the phone and I didn't convince him to sell. He told me what his problem was and I gave him a solution. But then once you take out like that whole trying to be all like wholesaling and just realize that you're solving problems, one of the things that you always like emphasize on is like, yo, you're a problem solver. So I was like, yo, let me just take some time to listen to what this person actually needs. And it was a seller who had a really nasty ex-wife who he was just trying to get away from. He was going to give the property to his daughter. She vandalized the property with her friends, just left it completely disgusting. And he was just like over it. He was like, I'm so tired of like just trying to do the right thing by people. They're taking advantage of me. I'm ready to get rid of this house. So he kind of already sold it to me without selling it to me. So once I heard that he had that problem, I'm like, all right, I got a solution for him. So we were just talking maybe for like 45 minutes. And then he ended up becoming like one of my friends because he would just like calling me when he was going to the doctor's office. I'm like, wait, this is part of like the business, but ended up being really cool. So he ended up signing the contract to sell the property a week later though. So here's the thing. This is virtual and people don't know you. Like I didn't see him. He never saw me before. So it did take us like at least 3 conversations before he actually signed the contract because I thought everything was all cool. And then the second conversation, he's like, I ain't signing nothing because I don't know you. I make sure I'm getting my money. So I had to really just build on that rapport that I already had from him in the first conversation and build that trust to let him know that, hey, I'm not trying to sabotage anything, my business, to scam you out of anything. So he ended up signing the contract and I JV that deal.
Wow. All right. So now you got the first contract. You started locking up some other contracts after that. Where did those come from?
Honestly, it came from doing the same thing. There's no like magic sauce. Like it's just more so like doing the same thing consistently and looking for the people who are looking for you. So there's no convincing. So I did the same thing and then I ended up finding my second seller who her husband was pretty much a contractor and he ended up getting hurt on one of the construction jobs where now he's in a wheelchair. And he was the one that was actually like fixing up their homes. They didn't have any money to pay for repairs outside of her husband doing it for free labor. So they needed to sell the house. They needed money. They just put a brand new roof on the house. And she specifically said, all I want is to get my money back for this roof. I spent $20,000 on this roof. And I'm like, if you need money like that, you'll take 10, maybe 11 or 12. She said, I just want at least close to what I paid for the roof. I offer her $11,500. She agreed. We got the second contract. And then the third one was special because it was like something I never did before. It wasn't the typical like, oh, I'm going through something. It was a seller who was out of state and she inherited a property from her grandmother who passed away, her and her brother. They had a tenant inside the property. So this one was the first one that had a tenant inside the property. And I was like, damn, what do? I got to figure it out because that's what this business is about figuring it out. And she was going into pre-foreclosure. I'm like, foreclosure just sounded so intimidating to me. I'm like, damn, like, can I really do this? I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do it because that's part of the business is solving the problem. I ended up just reaching out to her. We had a really good first conversation on the phone and she was like, I want to work with you. I didn't even know what I was talking about for real, but I sounded like I did. I was just really confident and I helped figure it out for her. And we just closed that deal actually like last week. So that one was really special to me because she ended up sending me a really nice text message and how she just appreciated me. And she's from New Orleans. So she's like, when you come out here, I got you restaurants, anywhere you want to go. And I was like, dang, like, and that's another part of this whole thing too, is that like you build really good relationships with really good people, and like relationships are everything. A lot of times they're more valuable than money, because money comes and goes. Good people stay, and like good people will bring you money. So it's like, it just makes it so, so valuable. Like even just me meeting you, it's like just the power of relationship. There's so much power in proximity. And like, you got to change your circle. People always want to be like, oh, I'm with my day ones. Sometimes you got to like get some money and build some relationship with your day twos. And I've done made so much more money with my day twos. It's not even funny. And it's like, yo, when your circle changes, the conversation changes, the compensation changes, your responsibilities change, and your life changes. So it's just really, 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 really dope.
I love that. I love that. We found a buyer. How we find a buyer for the first deal? You said you JV'd, right?
I JV'd it. Yeah. So if you don't know what JV is, like a joint venture, you find another wholesaler who has buyers, and they just want to partner up with you, and then you guys will split the assignment fee. So I found another wholesaler that is actually, he lives in the market that I'm in, which is in Ohio, and he was able to like go out to the properties. We were on FaceTime. We actually end up becoming really cool friends. Like he calls me all the time like a brother. He's actually kind of annoying because sometimes now we'll be arguing about a deal, but it's all love. But yeah, we ended up JVing on the deal, which is cool because for my first deal, I told you that seller, he was a little bit skeptical. And when it was time for us to close, he wanted to actually take a ride to the title company. And I thank God for my JV partner, because I was not flying out there to go take him to the title company, but my JV partner drove an hour away with him to Cleveland to the title company. He took him out to lunch or whatever, and he kind of just was able to be the face for the business, and he just built that belief with him. So it made the process so much more smoother. But yeah, I JV the first deal.
To go off what you were saying, even before that, building relationships. That's the power of building relationships. Like that's something that I'm even still learning. There's a lot of relationships that I accidentally, I try to maintain them. I try to keep up with people, and I start to do it more often. And I'll realize, oh shoot, I need something. Like I'm stuck here in my business. This person has it. Like they specialize in this. And because of me maintaining that relationship, not doing it on purpose to get anything out of it, just trying to be a good person, I reach out to the person and they're like, yeah, I got you. Like, this is all you need to do. And it's just like, it happened to me recently where I was just like, wow, that really, really paid off. And it sounds like it paid off for you because you were able to build a relationship with someone to walk the property for you, find a cash buyer, and even go to lunch with the seller. Like that's huge. That's huge.
That was dope. I was like, wow, like, okay, we're really running a legitimate operation out here.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
And you're doing it from home.
And I was home. I was just chilling. I was like, okay, I'm feeling like a boss. Okay.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's something that I'm going to take away from this interview 100% is maintaining my relationships. I am not the best at it, and I try to get better at it. So I'm going to make sure I start doing that. I appreciate you sharing that. You get the deal closed. Wire hits the bank account. It's real now. Like wholesale real estate actually worked out. It's not like another one of those things where you tried it and you gave up and you went to go try the next thing. You stuck this one through, you saw the results, and now you got a wire to the bank account. How's my Asia feeling after that?
I cried.
You cried?
Right. Because I was like, wow, this really works. Not only does it work, it just proved to me that like I can do it. Like that proof of concept was there. At that point, it wasn't even so much about like the money, because I was like, all right, this is cool. Like I believe that people make money from it. I love that it came to my bank account. I was like, damn, I can actually do this. It just instilled that belief within me where it was like, damn, this could work for me. I think also it just showed my strength. Like I told you, I had a really hard time adjusting to just building this business from home with my kids. So when I was like, damn, I did this one time, I could do it again. And it was like, this actually is possible. Like sometimes you think that things are like not doable for you. It's like a kind of like how you see yourself. Like it's that small thinking. Whereas like if you think something that's big is actually like a big problem, it's actually a small problem. Everything is about your mentality. So it was like when you think that something is too small, you only see small opportunities. And I was like, damn, I could actually do this. So I think I was just feeling like strong. I was like, I can really do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Because when I tell you, me and God was in a faith fight, we was in a faith fight. I was like, are you serious right now? Like, you gonna really have these kids in here while I'm trying to build this business to hit my account? He's like, yo, I'm the same God that gave you the kids. I'm the same God who chose you for the assignment. Like, you can't have faith and fear at the same time. You said you trust me, you got to trust me. And then when I saw it, I was like, damn. Then when I seen it the second time, he was like, you trust me now? Then the third time, it was like, I didn't even get started yet. I'm about to blow your mind. And I just had, like, now I just feel like God has so much more for me. And I got to just let him lead me. So that's just where I am with it. It's like, damn, this is possible. But now I'm just kind of like, okay, what's next?
What's next? I love that. I love that. So many gems in that. There's a wholesaler who's watching this right now, and they went through all the things that you said that you went through, the losing the contracts, getting cussed out by sellers, having to deal with a noisy household while you're still trying to build this business. To the wholesaler that's struggling right now, they already started. They just don't understand how to get their first deal. You got 3 already under your belt in a pretty short time frame. What advice do you have for them?
There's nothing that you can't do. You got to just keep going. You have to keep going. I heard a saying one time that said, like, a winner is just a loser who got up one more time. And that's so true, because if things don't destroy you, they're sent to develop you. So, like, you may just be in a developmental season and use all of those lessons to help you become the person that you're supposed to be. Like, if you really, like, think about it, there's nothing that we cannot learn. And I have to tell myself this, even doing this business, is like, I always say to myself, I use your affirmations too, like, buyers and sellers trust me. Like, I close 20K deals easily. There's nothing that I cannot do. There's nothing that I cannot learn. And that's so true. You think about, like, our life. When we came here on this earth, like, we were just crying and looking for formula or breast milk. That was it. We didn't know how to walk. We didn't know how to talk. We didn't know how to count. We didn't know how to drive. But we figured it out. So it was like, you got to just still apply that as an adult now, where there's nothing that you cannot learn. You got to look at the rearview mirror of your whole life, and it's like everything that you've done up until now, you've learned, and you never did it before. So you got to just keep going. You got to keep trying, and like the risk will be worth the reward.
I love that. Now, tactically, whenever you got into wholesale real estate, things were working out. You were making dials on your phone, cold calling. That's wild. Without saying the program or the mentorship helped you, right? What actually was like the one thing that you started doing that produced the most amount of, I guess, results?
Get a mentor. That's number one. A mentor with a really good program, because a lot of people say that they're a mentor, right? You have to use your discernment and vet out a really good mentor, someone who has the success that you want and that has the proof to show it. That's number one. So this mentorship did help me. And I don't want to be that person that's like on the interview with you and I'm saying that, but it did help me because you have a system in place that actually really works. So I would say once you get a mentor that has a really good system, you have to apply it, because like you can't just be a note taker. You got to be an action taker. That's the only thing that, like, the only thing that works is work. Like, you got to be willing to work it. So, like, do that. So I just followed the system that was in place. You do have, like, coaches that are also there for, like, a lot of support, or even not a coach. Like I said, I met Ashley, who is the same girl who was sitting on the interview with you, who was able to just speak to me on the phone and, like, give me advice and, like, role play with me a lot of nights. And when I was, like, questioning, like, can I really do this? She was speaking life into me. She was like my accountability partner. So, like, just find somebody. Like, I always say the power of one. All you need is, like, to make one decision. All you need is one mentor, one person who supports you, who believes in you. And that's all you need. And one decision could change your whole life. So I would say, like, find a mentor, find a program, apply what you learned in the program, and take action. That's really it.
I love it. Myaja, I appreciate you coming on here, sharing your story of getting started with wholesaling, life before wholesaling, and actually closing 3 deals, which is so crazy in a very short amount of time. My last few questions for you would be really future-based. And what can we expect from Myaja? Maybe there's a part 2 to Myaja's story where she's made hundreds of thousands of dollars in this industry.
Say that. Let's speak it into existence. Yes.
But first, I want to ask you, Myaja, what is your why? Why do you do this?
I do this for myself, because I am the most important person in my life. I do this for my family and my sister too. She's my biggest supporter. She watching this, my TT. Like, literally, like, they deserve the world. And I do this so that way I can at least give them that I want my time that's here. So I can't stop because I have people that's looking up to me and people that's depending on me.
Yeah. Let's put it in writing. What's the first milestone, we'll call it, the first thing you want to do for your family that'll be a huge milestone for you?
Damn. I gotta think about that one. What's the first thing I want to do? So many
We gotta
things.
put it in writing. Everybody gonna hold you to it.
All right. So this is the first thing that I'm gonna actually do because this is realistic from the start. I want to take my family, like me paying for everyone to go on an all-inclusive vacation where it's like VIP, penthouse. I'm paying for everybody's flight.
Okay.
Like that's what I want to do. And that's what I am going to do. I'm speaking it into existence. Is it ready?
I love it. We're going to hold you to that. If anybody wants to reach out to Myasia, join the Blueprint, reach out to Myasia. She shows up to every single group call. Sometimes she's in the office hours as well, but I know she doesn't gatekeep. Anybody who reaches out to her, she makes sure to help them out as well. So Myasia, again, thank you so much for being on here, sharing your journey, sharing your episode. And if you're someone who watched this and you were not inspired to start today, I don't know what else to tell you. Like,
no, you should start like yesterday.
She dropped so many gems and shared all the lessons. I told y'all this was going to be a special episode, and that's exactly what it came out to be. Get out there, crush it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.
Thank you, Roy.
Real quick, Myasia, she's wrapping up her interview, and she had mentioned that you were the person who got her started. Is there anything that you want to say special to Myasia? She can hear you right now. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Gosh. No, I just wanted to say, Myasia, I'm very, very proud of you. Thank you so much for just like trusting in what you saw. Because it's, like you remind me that I was that person for you. And that definitely makes me, push myself a little bit more harder. And I'm very, very proud of you and the route and you trusting with my guidance, even though I'm learning as well. So I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Yeah.
All right, look, Myasia, you got Myasia tearing up.
I was crying. I hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, we are.
Very, very proud of her. And thank you, honestly. I always express my gratitude towards you to people because honestly, I say this and this is like, I'm never going to stop saying this. I think we're the fruits of what you planted and you started it all. So we're the example of like something that you created. Yeah. But thank you.
Yeah. You got me emotional. Damn, Ashley. All right. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you in a little bit. I'm going to call you in a little bit. When are you going to be free?
I'll be free maybe in like around 30 minutes.
All right, cool. Well, I'll talk to you then. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Actually, I was laughing the whole interview. Now I'm crying. I'm over here crying.
Oh my gosh, that was
this
awesome.
Is so full circle. Like, wow, this don't even feel real. It feels so surreal. Like, this is really real. Thank you, Roy, for real.
I'm really happy for you. I'm just proud of you. Let me go ahead and stop the recording.